Jaleesa. I'm a junior at SCAD, and this is our Beauty and Him social media campaign. And today I'm here with Dorris. He's a SCAD alum, and he's currently a product developer for skincare and a fashion designer. So thank you so much for talking with me today, Storm.
Thank you so much for having me. I always enjoy talking to the SCAD beauty people.
Thank you. So first off, how was your experience as a male in a female-dominated major?
Well, for me, I had the fun experience of doing fashion first. So there was a lot of female
Mm,
students in there. So I got kind of used to it. So coming into beauty though, I was like one of two male students in the class for a lot of our classes. So it was like I had experienced it, but it was a little bit newer. But I'm
mhm.
so used to being around all females. I was raised with my mother, my grandmother, my sister. So for me, it's very second nature.
Yes. It's very comfortable environment for you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. So did you feel a sense of belonging in the major and was it easy to make friends?
Yes. So when I started the beauty program, it was actually brand new to SCAD. So
Mm-hmm.
all of us in that first class were taking it for the very first time, like ever a beauty class had been taught at SCAD. And so all of us were new. A lot of us were taking it as like a fun elective to see what it was about.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the end of that class, everybody was so inspired and like motivated by the class and by Professor Melanie that like we all loved it. A lot of us changed our majors to beauty, and I know a lot of us left as friends, and we got to take a lot of those classes together. So as a group, we became really close.
Yes, for sure. And do you feel that you had a different experience than your classmates in the major?
I think having come to SCAD and gotten a fashion degree prior, coming back to SCAD, I kind of knew what to like expect in terms
Yeah.
of like class workload, what the environment of just SCAD and all the facilities and all the networking we have, because like you can collab with so many different majors and so many different departments. And that honestly was something I didn't really take advantage of the first time. But coming
Mm,
back with beauty, I really found myself collaborating with a lot of different majors. And so that was a from that opportunity, I felt like I got so much more from it.
yeah, for sure. And did being SCAD beauty being a very female dominated major, did being a minority in the major help when applying for jobs and internships?
I definitely think it helps with standing out for sure. Like you
Yeah.
said, it is female dominated, so the occasional males that do come through do get a little more notice. I think something that also helped in my favor and the other male student in my class, we were both minorities in terms of ethnicity because I'm
Mm-hmm.
also Native American. So it was kind of like that double minority card within beauty. And I really feel like that has helped to get like a little attention, a little notice, but you still feel that need to work almost twice as hard because being
Yeah.
in the beauty segment, you find that some people do want to question like your knowledge or how much you really know about everything. So it's like you almost had to prove yourself too. So it's like that
Mm-hmm.
catch 36 or catch 360, whatever they call it.
Yeah. And you have your skincare line now. You're starting to develop your skincare line. So
Yeah.
how did you get started with skincare?
So my introduction to the whole beauty program was, like I said, it was brand new. When I initially had taken the class, I was very interested in the fragrance sector of beauty. And then through there, I really got passionate about skincare because also at that same time, I myself was experiencing skincare issues. Like my skin, I had the word like flare ups and just like
Mm-hmm.
hyper pigmentation and just super bad. Like I would flare up a lot. And through that first beauty course, I would test so many products. And then also, I know sometimes Professor Moore, if you get questions right, sometimes there's those
Yes.
little beauty closet that everybody wants. So like trying a bunch of different products that way, I really became super passionate. And like for me, I love the formulation aspect of what is it that goes into the ingredients and what are the benefits of these ingredients that make this great product.
Yes. As I love skincare because of that too.
Yes.
Yes. So what do you say are the big differences between the beauty and the fashion industry?
There are a lot of differences. For one, I think we'll take the top two for say. For one, fashion moves a lot quicker, I feel like, in terms of just like trends, things falling in and out of style. Um, so that for me, it's a constant, just you're pumping out work and constantly working. Whereas with beauty, I feel like it's more about creating that perfect formulation that is going to stand the test of time, that you're going to have consumers want to come back and buy. Because in fashion, you may have somebody come and buy, like even the looks behind me, someone's going to buy that once, wear that maybe once, twice, get photographed in it, and then that's it. But when it comes to a great skincare product or a great fragrance or even like that perfect mascara, like consumers are going to come back and be repeat purchases. And that is essentially what you want in any business, whether it be restaurants, beauty, fashion, is that repeat customer. And I have personally found with the skincare aspect, you do have a easier time having that repeat customer once they have that product that they love and that they trust. Because again, like with fashion, trends come and go, different styles come into popularity. Whereas like that perfect skincare product, like Estee Lauder, the Advanced Night Repair, that formula has stayed tried and true for decades and is a top seller for the brand. And I myself, that's one of my favorite Estee Lauder. So I know it works. And so finding those products that work, that is what makes the consumers come back. And I find that that is so important in any business aspect.
Yes, for sure. And what is one thing you would say to an incoming male beauty student?
An incoming male beauty student, I would tell them to keep an open mind and open like perspective on everything. Be willing to absorb everything like a sponge. Because I know for me, when I first came in, I was very intimidated because, like I said, it was for me, it was an elective at first. And through the class, that's where I fell in love with it because you absorb that knowledge just naturally. And for us, it was really fun because the first class we all had taken at that time was the history of beauty. And like, so just learning from the get-go and like old Hollywood and learning all these different things. I find that if you can absorb as much as possible, that is going to serve anybody, male or female, like exponentially. And like I said earlier in our conversation, be willing to collaborate with people because the connections and the networks that you build now truly, I mean, you come back and you will network with people, and it's so important, those relationships you build.
Yes, for sure. And well, you already kind of answered it, but building off of that question, what advice do you have for making the best of your time at SCAD?
Making the best use of your time at SCAD, I would honestly say, kind of elaborating on those previous answers, don't be afraid to like reach out to the other majors, because my first go around being a fashion student, I was so just fashion, and I did not ever like really reach out to other people. Like they may have been in my dorm or on that floor that of my dorm, but other than that, like, you know, you really have to just put yourself out there and really meet as many people as possible. SCAD, I can honestly say from my time studying here, the school has grown exponentially with all the different majors. So I find that keep those contacts of your classmates, because I know several of my classmates that I graduated with now are working big jobs. They love it. So, and it's always fun seeing their stories like on Instagram and like seeing what people are up to. And you find that they will be posting when their jobs are looking for people. So like LinkedIn, really take advantage of LinkedIn and like get familiar with those social platforms and having that social presence as well as digitally as physical, because that's so important. Because back That's what's crazy is just a few years ago with the pandemic, we were all digital and we started our major in person, but we finished capstone online. So being able to sell and be able to communicate with people both physically and digitally and social media are so important, especially in the times we're living in right now.
Yes, for sure. So that's it for the questions. Thank you again so much, Storm, for talking with us.
Oh, of course. Thank you so much for asking. It's always so much fun talking to SCAD Beauty.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.